Part 2 of my coffee table build. We left off in the last video gluing all the pieces together. So at this point I have the top, the bottom, and both sides finished and glued. So the next stage was to sand it all down. I used 80 grit with a belt sander to really speed up the process and getting all that excess glue out. I then cut down all the finished pieces to their final dimensions. I used a track saw here. It really helped me a lot. I don't have a large shop, big table saw, none of that, none of these expensive tools. So I'm really happy that this was able to do the trick, even on this 45-degree angle cut. I really liked how it turned out. So it was really easy to do, straight, even cuts, loved it. Next, I'm going to be joining all the pieces together. So I got my Festool joiner to drill all the holes where they're needed. I found it's much easier to actually mark with a pencil and then match that mark on your opposite piece and use that as a reference point to drill all the holes. I found that much easier. After I had all that drilled out, I glued all the pieces together. Unfortunately, I could not, no matter what I did, I could not find out where that footage went. So here you can see the pieces already glued together. After a hernia or two, I got that piece off the table onto the floor to start routing all the edges. I used a pretty large radius on the sides of the table. I don't know, I just thought that looked really nice. Here you can see I got a mouthful of wood shavings and wood dust, which is probably not good for you. Only to realize that Festool does come with a vacuum attachment, which I didn't realize at first. After I got it on, boy did it make a difference. What a difference. That's all the dust right there that you can see is coming off that the vacuum isn't catching. Anyways, I wish I had seen that initially. Although I did think about leaving the edges on the sides of the coffee table the way they were, I decided to go with a really small radius just so my kids are not hitting their heads on the coffee table and just, cutting their heads open. So as soon as I finished all the routing, back to sanding. I used a belt sander to remove all the marks left behind from the saw, from my pencil marks. Used an 80 grit here, got that removed, and then went back through with an orbital sander with 120 grit sandpaper to remove any marks or imperfections left behind by my tools or by the sander itself. After finishing sanding with the orbital sander, I went through by hand and sanded out all the routed edges on the coffee table. I was just scared that if I used that orbital sander, I'd be removing a little too much material too quickly. Here is the foot or the stand of the coffee table that I'm putting together. I'm sanding it down. I also lost a lot of footage in that same time when I was deleting extra footage to make room on my computer, but a lot of footage I lost, which includes the stand getting attached to the coffee table and the staining of the coffee table itself. So I'll just add some videos of the finished product itself in my home. When it came time to choosing a stain for the coffee table, I decided to go with a wood floor stain. I thought if it's durable enough to hold up to foot traffic, it is good enough to go on a coffee table. I hope you enjoyed my coffee table build. I really enjoyed building it, and I love how it turned out. If you would like to see more of my projects around the house, subscribe for more.